Hey guys, it's Team DDD here bringing you a brand new YouTube video for our channel. And today we're going to be doing a deck profile for Adam's 60 card Twilightsworn. Go ahead and take it away, Adam.
Alright, thank you. Today I'm coming at you with a 60 card Lightsworn. Just personal preference of the build. So to start off, we're going to have 3 Judgment Dragons because, he's the boss monster of the deck and it's easy to get him accessible out in the field. So we'll start with 3 of him. We run 2 Punishment Dragons. He's not as good as Judgment Dragon, but he can still do stuff. Whether or not, like, you banish 4 Lightsworns, different names. He can recycle your cards and everything. And he's actually brought me some wins because he's a playmaker. So we'll just run 2 of him. I just run the 1 Blacklisted Soldier. There's times where it's like I need another big beat stick out, and I have a Light and a Dark in the grave, and so I bring him out, and he's able to win me games. All right, so moving on to the Lightsworn stuff. I run 3 Wolves. That's pretty standard of a Lightsworn build. You send him from deck to grave, special summon, easy link, easy Xyz, synchro material. He provides a little synergy for the deck. Next, only run the 2 Phales. I found it 3 being a little cloggy, so run 2. It doesn't do that bad. I've actually won with her using her effect where you target a monster, you pop it, and you mill 3 from her effect. And I was able to put Fairytale Snow in grave, or get another Wolf in grave, and go on from there. So I just run the 2. of her. Let's see. The next monster is Raiden. He's a must in the deck. He's your main miller. He's your main tuner, level 4 tuner, and he's good for your synchro plays. He's good for your link plays. Good for Xyz. He's just overall generically good for the deck. So I run 3 of him. Let's see. I only run the 1 Jane Twilightsworn General, just for the dark fodder for grave, or the Lightsworn fodder if I need to put different type of Lightsworn into the grave for JD or Punishment Dragon. So I just run 1 of her, and I just run 1 of the regular Jane Paladin for the same thing and for the mill effect as well. I only run the 1 Lila Twilightsworn Enchantress. The same thing applies to what I said about Jane Twilightsworn General, just for the dark fodder, and also for Charge of the Light Brigade, Solar Recharge, the big plays there. I run the 2 regular Lila Lightsworn Sorcerers. I found myself at times where I actually use her effect to put in defense mode to pop a spell and trap, and usually if I open up with her and I don't have anything to discard, like Solar Recharge or anything of that nature, I open up with her and I start see if I can do some sort of mill effect at the end phase, see if I get anything good. So I just run 2 of her. I run the 1 Aaron. Just for the Lightsworn fodder and grave to get out JD. There's been times where I actually just attack the defensive position monster and just spin it back to the deck, and it's just sometimes I did win off of that before with other plays going on as well, but she's just a good fodder for the deck. All right, next I have I run the 3 Twilightsworn Shamans Lumina. For 1, yeah, she's the fodder, but I do go into her using her effect on the normal summon as well. It's like bring a banished Lightsworn back and everything. And she's like I said before, she's an extra fodder in the grave for JD or punishment, and discard fodder for solar recharge. So I run the 3 of her. And then lastly, for Lumina, I run the 3 regular Lumina summoners. Y'all basically know her effect where she discards 1, bring a Lightsworn back onto the field as long as you have a Lightsworn engraved. She's just your main. She's your main level 3, pretty much synergy type card to bring stuff back out from the grave. So I run 3 for her. I run, and to lastly top off the Lightsworns, I run the 1 Minerva. She's just there for solar recharge. She's there for the mill because she has an awesome mill effect to mill 1, and I've gotten pretty lucky recently just milling the right cards, like Fairytale Snow, Wolf, or just an extra Lightsworn engraved, so I can put JD on the field and everything. So I just won the 1 of her. All right, for extra additions for the deck, y'all probably saw this coming. I run 3 Fairytale Snows. I've won so many duels with Fairytale Snow. I mean, the card itself is powerful because it's able to banish 7, bring itself out, and be a Book of Moon. And so running it at 3, it provides the deck with a lot more consistency. It can provide disruption, and it's very useful to have in a 60 card deck, or any 60 card deck really. I run the 2 Eclipse Wyverns. Eclipse Wyverns, I tested him because he is able, if he gets sent to grave by any means, he's able to banish out JD or Punishment Dragon, and if I have Snow in grave, use her effect, I can banish Eclipse Wyvern even in the same turn and get my Punishment Dragon or Judgment Dragon from the banish pile. So I like to have him 2 so I can see him often, so that way I'm not milling off my Judgment Dragons or my Punishment Dragons. Alright, I run the 1 Hero Challenger 1000 Blades. He's basically for the Invoker play, for Brilliant Fusion and everything. That's pretty much all he's used for. The 1 Garnet, obviously for the Seraphonite and Brilliant Fusion. So just run 1 of him. I personally call this the Clown Brigade because, you send for a Trick Clown, you send him from deck to grave. He gets a free special summon even though you're paying 1,000 life points, but in my opinion, it's worth it. Damage Juggler. You can't go wrong with Damage Juggler because you can send to grave, stop damage, and if it's in your graveyard, you can banish it to get out Hat Tricker. And Hat Tricker, it's a free special summon if you have 2 or more monsters if there's 2 or more monsters on the field and everything. So I personally like this lineup right here. So that's that. Alright, for the plant engine in the deck, I run the 1 Glow Up Bulb. There's been times where I have thought about going into like a Trishula, and I didn't have a Trishula in my extra deck, but or even making Naturia Beast. But I just use him. He's also that type of mill fodder, just in order to special summon him as well. But he provides a little bit of consistency with the deck too. Only run the 2 Lone Fire Blossoms and everything. I find it like having 3. It's just personal preference. I find it kind of bricky, but you can't. I have no problems running it at 2. So run the 2 Lone Fire Blossoms. And then I run the 3 Orphis Scorpios. It's your standard plant lineup, and then with Cobra, it gets your free Brilliant Fusion, and then you can go off from there with your plays for the deck. All right, so now we're moving on to spells. You can't go wrong with solar recharges. I run 3 for that draw power in the mill. So, I mean, for me, it's pretty standard to run 3. You can try running 2, but I find it better to run 3. The same thing goes with Charger Light Brigade. I mean, you can't top sending 3 and then adding a level 4 or lower Lightsworn monsters from your hand. I mean, this card it provides a deck with so much synergy that it's like you mill 3 cards. Your chance of hitting a wolf, hitting a snow, hitting stuff that you need to engrave is pretty high. And so yeah, so I just run the 3 of those. Another card I play at 3 is Left Arm Offering. In situations, I found myself drawing this card, and I really need a grass, or that grass looks green. So I would, depending on what's in my hand, I just banish what I have in my hand, get grass, and hopefully that nobody has an Ash Blossom and everything. But I run 3 just in case if I need a certain spell card or whatnot to make plays. I can do so. So I just run 3 of him. And as I mentioned before, I run the 1 grass, since you can only have 1. I mean, most of my duels and everything else, I top deck this card, and I pretty much go ham and mill pretty much about either 15 to 20 cards top my deck, depending how many cards my opponent is playing. So, yeah, I mean, this card is really busted. I like it. Next, we have the Brilliant Engine. I mean, just plain and simple, y'all know what it does. You get easier, you get Seraphinite out and make plays that go on there. Soul Charge. I find myself using this card a lot if just in case if I can't make a board that can negate like monster spell or trap destruction or whatnot, or monster destruction. Excuse me. I have Soul Charge. I can bring them back, and my plays they become live again. So even though I'm taking life points, I mean, you can't go wrong with Soul Charge in the deck. And lastly, to top the deck of the main deck, I run 2 of Lightsworn Judgment. I mean, this card, if you mill it with a Lightsworn monster, I mean, it's basically giving you a free Judgment Dragon from your deck to your hand. And I feel like this card is what Lightsworn's needed to turbo out the turbo JD. So I run the 2 of him. Alrighty, now we're going on to the extra deck, and I only have 14 for the extra deck. The 1 extra space is for personal preference. I did have a Skull Dread and everything, but I'm just testing other cards out at the moment. So let's get started. I run the 2 Minervas. I mean, milling 3 and getting the draw, depending on how many Lightsworns are being milled, is spectacular. I can't emphasize that enough because it's really good. And her grave effect, if she gets destroyed or leaves the field by anything during by opponent's card effect or whatnot, she sends 3 and any Lightsworn cards milled, she gets to destroy that many cards in the field. And I mean, there's no words to describe it. She's really busting. She's really good for the deck. Next, run the 1 Baguska. There's times where I don't open up big on plays, so if I needed to sit on a defensive wall, everything, I bring Baguska out, and hopefully that I can stall long enough before my opponent can OTK me. I play the 1 Abyss Dweller. I have played a mirror match with Lightsworns, and so I have gone into him a lot. I do run into some other decks that involve graveyard effects and everything, so you can't go wrong having Abyss Dweller. All right, MX Invoker. He's there for the Predaplant engine. Easy rank 3. Bring out your Hero Challenger 1,000 Blades and go into your Mrs. Radiant for a Link Summon. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. All right, moving on with the links. 1 Mrs. Radiant, as I discussed before. really easy to get out if you have Invoker and 1,000 Blades on the field to get you those 2 extra slots for to special summon from the extra deck. Play the 1 Curious Twilightsworn Dominion. I don't go into her a lot, but there are times where if the option is available to me, I'll go into her for sending a card and then milling 3 due to her effect, and then if she gets destroyed by opponent's card effect or leaves the field by opponent's card effect, I can add 1 card from my graveyard to the deck. So I mean, she has her perks and everything, but I do like this card. She's worth running in the extra deck. Alrighty, for the synchro plays, I run the 1 Naturia Beast. Y'all know what it does. Usually I can get him out with Hat Tricker and Glow Up Bulb. I mean, that's pretty standard for me to get him out that way. So sometimes I make a big board and with involving him, and you know, sometimes I win, sometimes I get outed. So it all depends. But I do run 1 of him. I run the 1 Black Rose Dragon. I have found times where my opponent has a big board and I just can't get over it somehow with other stuff. So I just try to nuke the field and see if I can slow their pace down and see if I can blow up myself and turn the duel around. But I do run 1 Black Rose. I run the 1 Michael, the Arclightsworn. I mean, pay 1,000, banish a card, mill 3 at the end phase. I see no harm in running that in the deck for the build that I'm going for. So, I mean, I just run 1 of him. I'm testing out Stardust Dragon. I can make him, obviously, and I have ended on him before, and so he's just there for the Raigeki Dark Hole combo, or if the opponent has 1 of each, has 1 copy in their hand of whatever. So I just run 1 of him. And as I mentioned earlier, run the 1 Trishula because I can make Trishula with Glow Up Bulb and everything. I just failed to put it into the extra deck. So I mean, Trishula's won me games as well, so I can't complain. He's a really good monster for the extra deck, and it can turn plays around. And then lastly, to finish up the extra deck, Gem Knight, Seraphonite. I mean, it's your basic extra normal summon fusion monster, and very easy to get out with Brilliant Fusion, and it just makes your plays go live. So I just run the 1 of him and whatnot. So all right, guys, that's it of my deck profile for Twilightsworn. Hope you like it, and hope y'all have a great day.
Thank you very much, Adam. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe for more new deck profiles and more new Yu-Gi-Oh content. Hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.